Today on Outdoor Handyman Adventures, I'm going to be working on this 19-horse Kohler Courage. What I'm going to do is I'm going to change these air filters, the spark plug, oil filter, and change the oil. Here's the new parts I've got. I'll be installing a new oil filter, new oil. I bought a kit that came with everything. You can buy a kit on, I just bought this kit online. And spark plug, new spark plug for the mower. Air filter, I'll be installing a new air filter, new pre-filter, and a fuel filter. So I already turned my steering wheel that way, so I can put my pan here. All right, now what we want to do, take this oil filter, I want to loosen it. Dump it right here in the pan, it's fine. Keep your rag, because you're going to get greasy a little bit. That's why I always recommend wearing rubber gloves, something that will protect your hands from the grease and oil. All right. Push this in, and it should slide. It's got a groove. It should slide right off this little cap here. Let's see. Get it open. Let's see. It should be open right there. There we go. Pull our cap off. I like this mower here better with this extender on it here. You don't make such a mess on your frame. It don't get all over the frame of your mower. But that's always good. I don't know if you can see that in the camera down there. The extension. Let me show you that. See the extension here on the coming out of the motor to drop the oil in there? That makes it a whole lot easier, and you don't get any mess on your frame. I like that. That works really good. Okay, while that's draining, I'm going to go ahead and pull this filter cover off. There must not be a filter on here, because it don't feel like there is. Let's see. The cover's awful loose on. Yeah, there's no filter in there. I'm gonna clean this out a little bit. Wipe this down in here. Yeah, you always need to have a filter in here. You don't ever need to run it without a filter. That is not good. And you know what I'm going to also do on this one? I'm going to go a step further. I'm going to pull this off, and I'm going to pull the carburetor off, and I'm going to go ahead and clean that carburetor. Because I'm pretty sure this carburetor is definitely going to need some cleaning, because there's no filter in there. So all that's going to need to be cleaned. So let me get the tools to take that apart. Let's see. This is going to be a 10 millimeter. Usually on the on this Kohler engine. Well, I need to get my metal magnet tray. Nice little tray here to put your screws and stuff in there, and it stays right in there because it's a magnet on the back. I'm gonna set it somewhere. I'm gonna set it on the side of my truck. There you go. Let's see. I should have one more at the top. Yep. That is one nasty carburetor. Look how nasty that is. Ooh, bad. I have to take this bottom piece off here, I reckon, to get it past the frame. Yep. I can't see under there. Get something to cut that zip tie off from under there. There we go. Plug that. Move this out the way. Over here somewhere out of the way for the moment. Let's see here. There we go. I got a wrench that I took and it's been grinded down on both sides. I grind it down smooth to make it thin so it'll fit under the bowl of the carburetor here and get here and fit up between here. Might be loose enough to turn it by hand now. All right, let's keep. That's a bad carburetor. That thing is nasty. So this is for the anti-backfire. I'll need to take this thing apart and clean it, and I'll take it and clean. Yeah, I can smell it. That is some old gas in this thing, so it's going to have to be cleaned. Yep, definitely this carburetor is going to have to be cleaned. So I'm going to go ahead and get the rest of this carburetor off so I can clean it. Right now, I'm going to wipe this little rubber seal down right here. Wipe that part down because I want to put the cap back on there. Because we've drained our oil. Make sure the grooves, you got grooves in this here. I don't know if you can see it. Try to show it to you in the camera here, but if you can see it, there's grooves in this part that the slots lock in place on this side as well as this side over here. So on both sides you got a groove that slides into two little things that sticks out on that tube, which this goes into. You want to make sure when you push it on there, you line it up, push it in place, and then turn it, and that locks it and keeps it from coming off. Go ahead and I'm going to put the oil filter on. We'll go ahead and do that, and I'm going to move that pan out of the way so I don't spill the oil. And up here at the top, we want to look at it real good and make sure it's cleaned off. Yep, get it nice and clean. And make sure we don't have the O-ring from the other filter stuck up there. But here's the other filter, the O-ring is still on here. And these are the same size, that's good. Of course, I grabbed the other filter and got greasy. Wipe the grease off because you don't want to get grease on everything. Okay, give me a little bit of grease on my finger because I always like to put grease on the threads in here. Make sure they're nice and greased up there real good. And around my rubber here, I like to put oil on my rubber here. Seal, on the rubber seal. That'll help it seal a lot better. Make sure you line it up straight. You don't want it going on there cross threading. There we go. Just get it on there straight. It tried to cross thread on me there for a second. But nope, I won't have none of that. I want it straight, I want it right. Yep, get it tight as you can get it. On there by hand, that's all you need to do. Wipe it off. You want to wipe all this oil and mess off of here, get it clean. Make sure it's nice and pretty. That way, if it does have any oil drippage or anything, you'll be able to see it. Oh, I got a wire here, ground wire. I need to slide this back out of the way. I need to take this ground wire off. It's so dirty, I didn't even notice it. I forgot it was even there. Let me go get a, I think that's an 8mm. Let me go check. I got an 8mm socket. Let's try this, see if it fits it. Yep, it fits it. Yep, I knew there was a washer on there. I always want to make sure you don't lose your washer. This one has a little washer up there, so stick it in my pan here. Got my socket, 10mm over here. I don't lose my 10mm socket. I got it stuck up there. That's interesting. Nothing never amazes me. All the crud that's under there, look at that. That is nasty, that's gotta be cleaned. So all the parts I'm cleaning, put them together. This thing here I'm gonna go clean. Ooh, look at that old gas. That is some old gasoline poured out of there. That is old. Fix that. Bent my wire. I got to straighten that out. It usually don't happen, but sometime it will. But I guess I've never had it happen, but it did that time. Should just slide right out. All right. Now I'm gonna go clean this carburetor. Before I clean that carburetor, I'm gonna go ahead and put some oil in that engine. I have got pine pollen everywhere around here. I got like 15 pine trees out here, if not more. On this one, I got 1030 high mileage full synthetic. So far, so good. The parts seem to be the right parts, so that's always a good thing. These are online parts. The oil, it came from Walmart. And this lawnmower here does take 1030 weight in this particular mower, engine, excuse me, this engine here. On these Kohler Courages, they take 1030 weight, 10W30. Let me show you what I mean by that if you don't know what I mean. You should know what it means, but 10W30 is the recommended oil for this, is 10W30. It doesn't have to be synthetic or fully synthetic or anything. Just 1030 is what you want. I always want to check it, but you don't never want to overfill it. And you got to remember, oil hasn't got into the oil filter yet. It's showing right at the full mark right now, so I got a little bit more oil I can put in it, but what I'm going to do is leave that in it for now. When I crank it up, I'm going to run it because I want to make sure I put the right amount of oil in it. But right now, it says full, but we know it's going to, when it fills this up, it's going to be a little bit more oil added, and they did supply the extra oil. Okay, now I need to change my fuel filter, but what you didn't see that I forgot to film was me installing the carburetor after I cleaned it. I got the carburetor cleaned, got it back on. I had to get a new solenoid for the bottom, the fuel shut-off solenoid. I had to get a new one of those and got it installed. Now I just need to put the pre-filter in, the air breather in, and change out this fuel filter, which I should have. Let me take this cover off because I need to get this cover off to get the to the line back there. I didn't realize that. So let me do that now. Alrighty, now I'm going to take this fuel filter here off, change it out. Well, let me get the new filter on this side over here. All right. Usually there's an arrow on here. There is. There's an arrow on here. Hopefully you can see the arrow. There's an arrow right here. This would be your gas tank. The arrow would be pointing toward your carburetor. In the world, look at that. Look at that. Look how clogged up that filter is. I don't know how any gas was going through there. I mean, that thing there is flat out clogged up. So that filter's no good. This is going to our trash can. Now we're going to take our hose. I always like to look down through my hose to see if I can see through the hose. And I can see right through the hose, so that's good. You can see through the hose. The hose looks okay. Okay, I'm going to slide it on the carburetor here. There's a clamp there. All right, now we're going to slide this up here. And this should slide right in place here. Like that. Clamp's on there good. There's that. All right, now turn the gas on. Gas should come in there. I don't have any gas in it. All right, now I can put the cover back on here, and I'll show you how to put the air filter in. Just back into our valve cover. Line up our screw holes here on our carburetor. And this right here will slide right underneath this. Yep, there we go. This bolt goes right through here. That's going to be a 10 millimeter. Yep, 10 millimeter. All right, now we just want to tighten these up. Nice and snug, where it don't come loose. Yep, that's tight. Hoses in there, yes. Let me put this. All right, now we're gonna do our pre-filter. So what we're gonna do on our pre-filter, get our pre-filter in here. It just slides right in here. Right. Put your pre-filter right there just like that. What you want to do, this part right here is going to go around the groove here. There's this groove here goes over this plastic piece, and you want to make sure you get it around here really good. Just take your time and get it on there right. You fit right in place just like that right there. Okay, now we take this part, turn it up like this, slide it right over there, and turn this, line that up, turn that one. You get them locked in, and then we just tighten these up. And that's how you install your air filter on your Courage Kohler. I'm going to back the camera up a little bit here. All right, now I want to start the engine. We got our air filter in here. I cleaned the carburetor. Got the air filter, pre-filter, oil filter, fuel filter, spark plug. We got all of that done. Now I need to crank it. Let's turn our fuel on. Turn the fuel on, and let's see if it starts up. Thanks for tuning in today to Outdoor Handyman Adventures. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Thanks for watching. See you on the next one.